Sadhguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, ShrimadBhagavatam58. As you may remember, Sati announced to the Yagnashala that she hated herself because she was the daughter of Daksha. I do not want to be known as Dakshayani after this. This body has lived long enough. I will shed it. Sati said nothing more. She sat down dressed in her golden-colored silks and, closing her eyes, went into a yogic trance. They were all watching her. Mentally, she controlled her thoughts and invoked the god of fire to enter her. No one spoke a word. Suddenly, her body began to burn with the fire she had summoned, and Sati was just a heap of ashes. 38. The anger of a god. When they saw Sati destroying herself, the attendants of Sati rushed toward Daksha with the intention of killing him, and thus avenge the death of their queen. Brigu saw them rushing, and invoking a mantra which destroys those who try to disturb a yagna, he poured libations into the fire. Out of the fire was born a crowd of beings named Ribus. They were more than 1,000 in number. They fought with the servants of Mahadev and drove them back. In the meantime, sage Narada went to Mahadev and related to him about the happenings at the Yagnashala and the tragic end of Sati, and also about the routing of the Pramataganas by the power of Brigu. Mahadev was not surprised. He knew all along that something like this would happen. All his sorrow turned to anger. In his fury, he pulled out a strand from his matted locks and flung it on the ground. Out of it was born Virabhadra, a fire-like form. He was fierce to look at. He was so big he seemed to measure the distance between the heavens and the earth. He had 1,000 arms, and he glowed like fire. He was dark like the rain cloud, and his eyes were spitting fire. He was also wearing a garland of skulls like Mahadev. He fell at the feet of his lord and said, "What do you command me to do?" "Go," said Mahadev, "go to the Yagnashala of Daksha. Kill him and destroy everything there." Followed by the attendants of Mahadev, Virabhadra hastened toward the Yagnashala. A fierce cry escaped him, and he rushed toward the holy spot with an uplifted trident in his hand. The dust rising from the rush of the Pramataganas was so great that those in the Yagnashala began to wonder what was happening. "What's happening in the north?" they asked themselves. "It cannot be night drawing near. It's a cloud of dust. Where does the dust come from? There is no breeze blowing. Perhaps it is Pralaya, the great deluge," they thought. Daksha's wife, Prasuti, was afraid something dreadful was about to happen. She knew that this was imminent when she saw how her daughter had been insulted, when she burnt herself under their eyes. She knew the greatness of Mahadev. How could one who defied him be safe from his wrath? Within a few moments, the Yagnashala was surrounded by the angry Pramataganas, led by Virabhadra. Panic set in. Everyone was rushing everywhere. Maniman rushed toward Brigu and captured him. Virabhadra caught hold of Daksha in his immense arms. Chandikeshvara pinned Pushan in his arms, while Nandi got Bhaga as his share. Virabhadra pulled out the mustache on the lips of Brigu. Bhaga, who had incited Daksha in his indifference towards Sati by just moving his eyebrows, suffered for what he had done. Both his eyes were destroyed. Sadhguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.